Hello students, today we started chapter 4, that is consumer equilibrium indifferent curve analysis. Okay, so in this chapter we have to learn about the different types of assumptions from individual curve, okay, from a consumer equilibrium and indifferent set of indifferent curve. Okay, so first thing is that what assumptions should we take by the IC analysis, that means indifference curve, okay, under the consumer equilibrium. So in this way the money income of a consumer is given and does not change, which was same as the marginal utility in under the consumer equilibrium, okay, and the consumer spend his income on two goods which are substitute to each other. That means suppose he have to make comparison between tea and coffee. Both tea and coffee both are the substitute to each other, okay. So and the consumer preference for the two goods is well defined. That means his intensity to desire of a goods will increase when he has a less of it. That means suppose we have a less thing, okay, we have less thing, then our satisfaction is increased more and more because we want to consume those things, okay. More of goods always give more satisfaction to the consumer, so this is called the monetic preference of a goods, okay. If we eat one chapati, then we get less satisfaction, but if we get 5 chapatis, then we get more satisfaction, okay. That means the goods always more satisfy when the goods are more, okay. So this is called monotonic preference. So these are the some assumptions for the indifferent curve analysis according to the consumer equilibrium, okay. Now the thing is that what is indifference set and indifferent curve, okay. So first thing is indifferent set. So it is a set of those combinations of two goods which offer the consumer the same level of satisfaction, so that the consumer is indifferent across all combination of its different indifferent sets. That means the combination of those two types of goods offer the consumer have same level of satisfaction, okay. That means suppose we get satisfaction 10 from 1 cup of tea, okay, and get satisfaction equal to 10 from 2 cup of coffee, okay. So this was the indifferent set. We get satisfaction combination equally from both of them but having different commodities, okay. So this is called indifferent set. Next thing is indifferent curve. That means it is a diagrammatic representation of the indifferent set, okay. So when consumer is focus, all points which show different combination of two commodities have the same label satisfaction to the consumer, okay. That means it is just an diagrammatic representation of indifferent set, okay. Let's take an example. Here we take an example. A table have 3 columns, that combination good A and good B, okay. So here we have two combination of 4 commodities A, B, C, D, okay. From good A is 1, from good B A is 10, okay. These are the satisfaction or a utility from the different type of combination, okay. So we have to draw or represent this type of indifferent set on indifferent curve, that means on a diagrammatic presentation. So here we draw x-axis and y-axis, okay. So from commodity A the goods is 1, that means good A is 1, and the good B, then the combination is 10. So this point was combination A. From B we get utility from goods A is 2 and from goods B is 7, that means this point is B combination. From combination C we get satisfaction good A is 3 and good B is 5. Okay, so this was the C combination. And for D combination, good A satisfaction is 4 and good B also satisfaction have 4. So that was D. So the indifferent curve, this A, B, C, D is called IC. That means indifferent curve. Okay. So the next thing is consumer budget or a budget set and budget line. Okay. So we know that the budget is generally expressed in term of income or a price. Okay. So here budget set refer to the combination of a set of two goods, given price of a goods and the income of the consumer. Okay. So the budget set equation is called the budget equation. Okay. So budget means consumer budget means the combination of budget set, that is in which the price of a goods and the income of a consumer both are combined. Okay. So the budget equation is P1x1 plus P2x2 is less than and equal to Y. So here P1 is the price of a goods, x1 is the quantity of goods 1. Okay. P2 is the price of goods 2 and x2 is the quantity of the goods 2 and Y is the total expensive value. Okay. So this thing show the limit up to which the consumer can buy a set of two goods with his given income. Okay. So the budget set depend upon the two price, that means P1 and P2, and Y, that means the total income or total expense. Okay. So the change in any of these variables will lead to the change in the budget set. So budget lines show different possible combination of two type of goods which a consumer can buy and given his budget and the price of a goods. So anywhere on the budget line, if a consumer is spending his entire income on a goods A or a B, then the budget line equation will be P1x1 plus P2x2 equals to Y. Okay. That means in this equation, the consumer can spend all his income for consumption, for consuming goods 1 or 2, A and B both. Okay. So this equation is equal to the income, and the above equation, that means P1x1 plus P2x2 less than Y, that it means he can save some amount from his income by purchasing both of the commodities. Okay. So this was called a budget line. Okay. Let's take an example for budget line. So the next, suppose a consumer budget is rupees 40 and he is buying goods 1 and goods 2. So the price of goods 1 is rupees 8 per unit and that of goods 2 is rupees 10 per unit. So we have to represent these budget line. Okay. So here let's we take x1 the quantity of a goods A and x2 is the quantity of goods 2. Okay. So the given consumer budget, that means consumer income is rupees 40, that was given us. Okay. And the price of good 1 is rupees 8 per unit here, and the price of goods 2 is rupees 10 per unit. Okay. So we know that the equation of the budget line is P1x1 plus P2x2 equals to Y. Here P1 is the price of goods 1, x1 is the quantity of goods 1, P2 is the price of goods 2, and x2 is the quantity of goods 2, and it would all these are equals to the income, that means the total budget, consumer budget. Okay. So P1 is 8 x1 plus 10 x2 equals to 40. Okay. So here suppose we take that x2 is 0, then x in 8 x1 plus 10 into 0 equal to 40, and 8 x1 equal to 40, and for the value of x, the 8 is shifted in divide of 40, So the x1 is 5. Okay. On another way, suppose if we take when x1 is 0, then 8 into 0 plus 10 into x2, okay, equals to 40. So 8 into 0 is 0 and 10 x2 equal to 40. For finding up the value of x2, we just move 10 and divide of 40. Okay, so the value of x2 is 4. So here we take the value of x1 is 5 and x2 is 4. Now we should have to represent it on a budget line. So here we take two axes, x-axis and y-axis. X-axis is for x1 and y-axis for goods 2, that means x2. Okay, so for x1, the value of x1 is 5, that we already find it, and the value of x2 is 4. Okay, we also find both of the value. So the line that join both x and y, x1 and x2, are called budget line. Okay, so there are some numerical examples also. Okay, so you just have to practice them. Okay, thank you. So there are some numerical examples.